My name is Shaun. I'm 21 years old. I was put in foster care at a really young age. I experienced a lot of physical and sexual abuse growing up. I didn't have parents, namely a father figure, and I spent most of my younger years bouncing around from family to family. I came up here to Michigan with the chance at a new life with a new family, a place to call my own, but because of what I had gone through up to this point, I started to push everybody away. I had a lot of barriers built up, and I just really wasn't letting anybody get too close because I was afraid I'd get hurt again. I ended up in jail because of some choices that I made. I spent 4 months in jail before I finally got up the courage to call my parents. For 4 months, I had no contact with my parents. When I did reach out to my parents, my dad was the one to pick up the phone, and he knew where I was. He didn't exactly tell me that he was disappointed. Like, the phone call I was expecting wasn't what really happened. I could hear the disappointment in his voice, but at the same time, he was telling me that everything was going to be okay. We were going to get through this. He was going to support me regardless of what I had done. I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what to call it. I took that, and it actually sparked me to make some good choices towards my life, some small life changes. But I fell back on the same problems that put me in jail, and I would end up in there another 2 months. My attorney, her name's Jeannie Reed, really strong Christian woman, brought up Teen Challenge to me and told me what it was. And I knew that I needed to go here, but I specifically only was making that choice because I was trying to avoid 7 years in prison. I ended up coming here regardless of how I felt. And again, I was greeted with unconditional love. I learned what that was. It took the form of Benzine, the intake coordinator. He looked at me like I had done nothing wrong. He knew my story, he knew my background, but he still greeted me as though I was a brother. And that really struck a chord in me. For the second time, I was experiencing the unconditional love of Christ, and it just sparked me to change further. The longer I was in Adult and Teen Challenge, the more God would slowly help me with things, and the more I had to surrender in order for Him to do that. A few of those things was healing from my abusive past. That was a huge thing, and that allowed me to move forward. The mentors here, the mentorship, is also another thing that helps us develop a Christian attitude towards life. There's a lot of experiences here where God works on people's lives. One of the experiences that really stuck out to me and still holds weight to this day was 6 months into the program. I started finally getting confirmation that I should confront my past. All the physical and sexual abuse that I had experienced up to this point, I had just kind of bottled it up and stored it for later, and not really healed from any of that. So I brought a couple staff members into the knowledge of it. I told a couple pastors about it, consulted them, and I just got a lot of healing out of it. There was a lot of raw feelings that had to be confronted and pulled out. I can definitely tell that God had His hand on that. And being able to move forward with the support of people who have actually done this walk, this whole Christian walk, most of their lives, it makes a difference. I do see myself making music in the future to glorify God. Music has been a huge part in my life, and it's going to remain a huge part in my life. Worship. I want to be able to give God the glory and the honor. And I want to be able to affect people through the music that I write and the music that I sing. I want them to see a God who is faithful, who is loving, who is kind, who doesn't care about where you come from or what you've done, and is always waiting with open arms to help you walk through life and give you healing. And that's what I want people to see, not only in the music that I possibly could be making in the future, but in the life that I live now. If you're watching this video and you feel like you're alone, you feel like God doesn't hear you, just know that that's wrong. There's a lot of people out in that world that are struggling, just like you might be. But you need to know that God He's always around us. He's always walking with us. He's always watching. He's always listening. And He's always waiting with open arms for you to turn around and run to Him. Take it from me. I found out that God was watching me through all my trauma and my problems and my troubles, and when I found out that He was always there, it was super, super easy for me to turn around and run towards Him, because I knew that I couldn't do it on my own. So don't rely on yourself. Turn to God. Have Him help you, and you're not the only one going through stuff.